The big question we're asking this week is, how do designers communicate information through logos? But before we get into answering that, we need to be sure that we know what a logo is. And basically, it's a symbol or a small design that an organization or company uses to identify itself so that you can easily identify their products or services. Now, here is an example of a familiar company, and you can really get some nice evidence of how companies change over time when you look at their logos. What are some similarities and some differences? Why do you think they adapted their logo as the company adapted over time? So what are the elements of logos? Well, this connects to what we're learning to do, to understand the function and the features of logos and how we can use our understanding to communicate. Logos are a combination usually of words and symbols and can often use color to communicate information as well. Here's a nice example of that. You're familiar with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, all 17 of them, well, and the UN symbol as well for the goals. And you can see they use color, text, and symbols. This makes all of the different logos memorable. A logo you're more familiar with, though, is the Raha school logo that has recently adapted itself. Now, the logo is really great because it can be modified for different purposes, like creating posters for things like the mission and vision. But Raha just adapted their logo recently because they are not alone. They're part of a group of schools under the company called Talim. And the original school logos for the Talim schools looked like this. Now, can you tell that these schools are related? There's the original Raha school logo. And in Dubai, there's the Uptown School, the Dubai British Schools, the Jumeirah Baccalaureate School, and Greenfield Community School. But when they were adapted and new logos were designed, they transformed into this. Now, what connections can you see between the different schools that are all part of Talim? So when you unify all of the different logos of the schools, it really helps to show that they are all related. So logos play a big part in communicating information. Remember, they need to be simple. Less is more. What do these logos tell you? These are all logos for the tourism organizations for 6 of the 7 UAE Emirates. Have a look at how unique and different they are. Do you think that's on purpose? What does it tell you about the values or ideas or features or special locations or things about each of the different Emirates in the UAE? So logos serve a really specific function, which is to communicate information in a simple way. And the features of them, again, they are really simple. There are just a few elements to them. And the more simple, the better. So your challenge is to design or draw a logo. Remember, it should just have 3 elements: a bit of text if you wish to, a simple symbol or image, and it can contain some color that matches what you're trying to sell or communicate with your product. Here's an example of some experiments I recently did, trying to come up with a logo design for a new online discussion group that Mr. Mark has started up. And if you want to just focus on improving your observation skills, you can try copying one of the UN Global Goal logos. Or if you already have a product or service that you have in mind to develop, create a unique logo to put on your own flyers to capture your audience's attention. When you're finished developing your skills either creating or copying logos, remember on page 2 of the activity to reflect on your learning.